I was heading over the Bellagio last night already on the road and texted Wise to see if we wanted to hook up. He says he is already at TI, so why not? Looped around on Las Vegas Boulevard and parked my car. Wise is with his buddy Evan, nice kid, sitting in the 7th seat and his friend in number 9. I get on the list 6th up, but the room was packed and knew it wouldn't be long before a seat opened up. Nice touch by the girl at the desk taking my cell phone number. They call you when your seat is ready, which I thought was pretty cool. Sure enough, seat 8 opened up, and I found myself sitting next to the man himself. I'll just cut to the chase. Wise is fucking crazy. This guy opens at least 60% of the time with a standard $15 bet that he lets roll off his fingers. The way Wise bets tilts the shit out of me. He slowly grabs 3 reds and holds his hand barely over the line and lets them just peel off slowly, and usually they would roll aimlessly for a split second before coming to a stop. Anyway, he is jamming up raises right and left and making a ton of loose calls on raises. Needless to say, I was playing tighter than a frog's ass with a pretty tight range, but my god, this guy likes any 2 cards. Wise pops one hand up UDG, and I fold OBV, a couple people call, and I look over motioning for him to show his cards, and he gives me a peek at 5/3 os. Flop is like a /J/10 or some high card flop like that. I don't remember the exact cards, but of course he bricked completely. Well, one of the callers fires out $25 and Wise just chucks his chips in slowly without a care in the world. The guy leads out for like $60 on the turn, and Wise starts counting out $25 stacks, and I'm thinking this is a pretty bold play if he is going to check raise, but didn't think he would do it. I'm just looking over at him, and sure enough he slides a healthy chunk of chips into the middle and raises large. I liked the play, but I had a feeling the guy was strong. Sure enough, he called the turn raise, and that was all she wrote. I knew Wise wouldn't try to fire on the river, and he surrendered when the other guy took him to Value Town. That was a good hand. I thought he was being very creative, just shitty timing, and he picked the wrong guy to bluff. The table was very juicy. There were 2 guys buying in for $50 over and over, and busting in no less than 4 terrible players at the table. Combine that with Wise bumping up almost every unopened pot. There was a lot of action for sure. Then a little bit of controversy. Lol. This guy in seat 1 who looked like he had just come in from a homeless shelter sat down, one of the ones buying in for 50, and got into a 3-way pot with me and Wise. I had J/10s and called Wise's 15, and seat 1 came in. Wise and I both checked the flop, and the guy shoves in his last $40. Well, Wise calls him, and I muck OBV. The board went runner spades, and I would have taken down the pot, but when all the cards were out, neither of them turned over their cards. Wise has KQ and the other guy has 10 high, but all of the sudden starts crying that Wise had thrown his cards into the muck. Mo Wise did muck. Lol. Buddy is berating the guy for buying in for short and how he didn't know shit, etc. It was great. He was tearing this dude down, and the floor comes over. I even chimed in how it wasn't a muck and the floor girl really didn't know what the rule was, and after all was said and done, the pot gets shipped to Wise. As soon as the girl walked away, he whispers, "Anywhere else that's a muck," or something like that. Lol. That episode was hilarious, I have to admit. Anyway, that's about it. I could go on about a few other hands or bitch about the hand I busted on, but I won't. Wise is a pretty mellow guy actually, and meeting him has been drama-free. Sorry to disappoint everybody. He is loving it in Vegas, and who can blame him? This is a great town. On a side note, the Wynn is such a nice hotel. I was really impressed. I mean, there are millionaires and jet-setters all over the place in that casino. The whole place just reeks of wealth. Beautiful women from all over the world. Walking through the casino the other night, I kept catching all kinds of different languages. Steve Wynn is definitely going after the upper crust. Makes Bellagio look like Binions. Wise has a nice room overlooking the golf course on the 50th floor. He couldn't have picked a better place to stay. Nista blog.